Hey guys, what's up there? It's Dan the Man here, and today I have some sort of a review and overview of this gaming laptop which I've had and used for 2 months. This is the ASUS ROG STRIX gaming laptop. It's got a good build quality, mixture of metal and plastic. It comes with Intel Core i5 10th gen base model, and also GTX2080 Ti 4GB GDDR6 graphics card base model. Up to, we could go all the way up to, let's say, Intel Core i9 10th gen, and as well as RTX2080 SUPER. So you could configure this thing to your liking, and there are different models and variants of it available. So this laptop got very nice RGB, we'll look at that later. So that's pretty much it for now. Now let's look at what this thing is capable when it comes to gaming or daily usage and battery life perhaps. Okay guys, first let's look at the build quality and the I/O. So it's got, like I said before, brushed aluminum mixed with plastic, kind of a build quality. It basically attracts fingerprints and oil very quickly, and it's got this beautiful mirror looking thing which you can which reflects lights depending on how you look at it. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Yes, you can see it right there. And it's got like very nice build quality to it. By looking at the front of the laptop, we can basically see this white line, which is the RGB. Let me show you in a second how that would look basically. Yes, it's got this RGB stuff around it, and it's very beautiful. You could configure it to 6 or 8 different zones if I'm not mistaken. On the side, however, we have 3 USB ports 3.0, 1 headphone or mic jack, and that's the speaker. And there you have the hinge. Here we have the keyboard. Let me get a better focus on it. Okay, that's nice. So here we got the keyboard. It's RGB as well, but you could only configure it to one color or a circle of colors or different things like that. So it's not like each zone can be lit individually on this specific model. The trackpad, the touchpad is very good, and it's glass. It's got physical buttons, which I really like. Some people hate that, but it's very easy to use. Even without a mouse, you will be having a good time using this thing. The keyboard is very decent. It's got very good different travel. I mean, it feels like kind of a mechanical, even though it's not mechanical. It's a very beautiful and nice keyboard. And here is plastic, brushed plastic. I think a little bit of aluminum perhaps mixed in there. You have the ROG, Join the Republic of Gamers logo in there, Wi-Fi 6, GTX or RTX depending on what model you're getting, and i5 10th gen. And here we have some grills in there. Those are not for the speaker, it's actually air intake for the fans that are back there. And this thing has actually pretty good thermals if you ask me. And on the other side we have the ROG STRIX logo in there. Not sure if you can see it very well. It's kind of hidden, it's kind of hard to see, but it's good. It's not like screaming ROG, or you don't see an ASUS logo in there. 144 Hz logo right there. You got your function keys there, and you got these 4 keys for gaming, and I like how they feel and how they look basically. There's a lot of light in here, by the way. That's why you can see the keyboard backlit very well, or the RGB around it. By the way, this thing looks very beautiful if I don't have a lot of light around me. I have a lot of light kits there. So in the front we don't have anything, like I said before. Here on the side, more RGB, speaker grill, and nothing else there. And here in the back is where things get a little bit interesting. I'm trying to get more light in a very savage way. So okay, so here you have your Ethernet, 2 cooling heatsinks you can see there, HDMI, USB Type-C, not sure what type, but it's not Thunderbolt unfortunately, and your power in. It's got this nice texture there. Let's look at the back of this computer. In the back, it looks nice too. You got Windows logo, you got some other information, that ROG thing, and a lot of these grills in there and holes that can actually intake or take the air in and then help you with the better thermals basically. So that's for the looks. So let's move on to the next category. So guys, one of the most unique things about this laptop is this beautiful RGB that you have there. I mean, look at this thing. This thing just looks magical. There's nothing like it in the market. It's very bright actually. And the reason you couldn't see it in the video earlier because I had like 4 light kits lighting at it. So it's very beautiful. You could have it configured differently. And just look at this thing on the sides as well. It's very bright and it looks really good. And believe me, let's say if you take this somewhere outside, let's say to Starbucks or somewhere, people would know what you have, or they'll be like, what laptop is that? You know, it's like it'll make people ask you questions, you know, because it looks very nice. And there are laptops who have like RGB bars, but these days they're not as nicely done as this one. So RGB is done if RGB is your thing and if you don't hate it. But if you hate it, you could lower it or have it switched off. So you could hold FN, arrow keys up and down, different levels of brightness, or just have it off. No one would know this is an RGB laptop. And what I like about this thing is that in the basically Aurora Creator, you could make different types. Like for example, this model that I liked. Let me just bring it up here. Just one moment. So you can have the RGB customized. I've customized it to different colors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 different zones. You could customize it to your own liking, any color you want on any side or any types that you want. And that's easy. You can do that through the Aurora Sync software that they have in there. But for the keyboard, it's just going to be one color and it's going to change, go to different cycles or different ways of doing it. And this is the most unique thing about this laptop. This is what why most people would be choosing this over other things if you're into RGB. If you're not, you can have it switched off and use it like a normal boring business laptop. So right now I'm gonna be playing some Counter-Strike. Remember that this thing has only 8 gigs of RAM, so it's a single channel. I used to have another 8 gig. I gave it to a friend because I'm gonna be selling this thing. So if you happen to have, let's say 16 gigs, you're gonna get about 50% boost in some games, believe me. So 8 gig is not enough, and single channel is not enough. Make sure your laptop, whatever you've purchased, is running in dual channel mode. Let's just wait for this load. So Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I'm getting 120 or 150 FPS with a single channel memory, up to 140 max, 45 or 50 perhaps. But if you actually upgrade the RAM and have it in dual channel like I had before, I used to get 220 FPS. So that's like 70% extra, which is insane. You know, I'm playing with bots right now, with bots actually, because couldn't find a match. Okay, he's not here yet. Oh, a bot killed me anyways. So, and let me show you guys how this actually sounds like, the fans when they're running. You can hear for yourself. That's on maximum. I hope you were able to hear it. That's like on maximum. Let's look at another. So right now I'm trying and I'm playing basically Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a very demanding game. I remember with 16 gigs of RAM, again I was getting around like 65 to 70 frames per second. Here I'm getting like 50, a bit lower, probably because it's a single channel. So The game's very smooth, runs very well. The fans are blasting, as you can see. I'm inside some house. I have not played this for quite a while actually. The panel looks very good. It's an IPS panel. It's a beautiful IPS panel, 144 Hz, fast refresh rate, not the fastest or the top of the line, 144 Hz. Don't expect something like that, but it is good for what you can see. There's a lot of detail here, 1080p, medium to high mixture of settings, and as you can see, the GTX 1650 Ti is doing a great job at handling this. I have a very stable frame rates despite the fact I have only a single channel memory. So I'm gonna exit this thing. By the way, you could have your fans set to perhaps performance mode or maybe silent, but it's gonna just make it a little bit more quieter, but still the fans need to be blasting there. So there are 3 different modes that you can apply: turbo, performance, and silent. Silent, you don't really hear the fan as much, but that's how it is. Let's look at another. Here with Cyberpunk 2077, I'm getting a pretty good, decent frame rates. It's about 100. I'm in the training right now, but in the city it's about 50 or 65 or 70 frames per second on low setting, 1080p. So low details, 1080p, you're gonna be getting that much of frame rates. Okay, so it's pretty smooth, even though this game is buggy and I'm not a big fan of this game because of that reason. So you're gonna get a decent frame rates, about 70 frames per second, low setting, 1080p. And this game is not well optimized yet with the 1650 Ti. If you happen to have RTX 2060, of course you're gonna get better frame rates and you would have that RTX technology to go around with. So let's look at other games. So here we have Call of Duty Warzone. This is just a warm-up. Beautiful 70 frames per second, 75 frames per second, single memory channel. So if you actually have another 8 GB of RAM, like I said before, you're gonna get a little bit of boost in performance. It's running beautifully, medium setting, 1080p. Runs beautifully, nice graphics, good performance. If you feel any stutter, it's just because that you have a little bit of a single channel memory. That's a drop point for your team, soldier. I'm just gonna drop anywhere. Sorry guys, I'm gonna screw your game a little bit. And that's not because that I'm selfish, it's just I'm trying to play it here. Performance is actually good despite the fact Okay. Nice. Beautiful gun, sniper. It's very nice, very smooth, 80 frames per second, 89, sometimes it hits 90 something. So if you lower the settings a little bit more, put it all the way low, perhaps you could get take advantage of that 144 Hz screen. So this is a very good experience so far, you know. Just feels smooth, despite the fact my PC is recording at, not my PC, I'm sorry, my camera is recording at 60 frames per second. So it's a good experience actually overall. That's all. So here is the G15. We're gonna look at inside it, and after we benchmark the games and stuff. So let's see upgradability options. I've uploaded 2 other videos, very good guides actually in my channel. You can check them out if you want to later. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 screws in here. So these 2 right here, they are attached to the case, so you cannot take them out. This one and this one. The rest of them comes off. So let's just undo the screws for now. I'm gonna skip the video. So after I took the screws out, as you can see, this one actually came off too, which is a little bit surprising. So it's supposed to be attached to the actual base of the laptop. So you just go around it, starting from that corner, and just tap out from that side, out, and then push it up, flex a little bit on the sides here. Okay, now this is off. Do not remove it, okay? Turn it the other way around towards where the exhaust or the fans are. You can see here. Now take this thing up, bring it a bit forward, and then bring it more forward. You see? You have those these two ribbons that are for your RGB. Okay. So here you have one NVMe SSD, you got your coolers, you got your GPU, you got your fans, your GPU heatsink, your CPU heatsink, 2 RAM slots, you can upgrade one more. And let's move it towards this side a little bit more to see what's in here. Here we have the battery. We have one NVMe SSD that I added, so it's a terabyte in total. There's 1, 2, 3 places, 3 slots available for NVMe SSD. So it's pretty good and very good for upgrading. I'm going to detach the battery. I'm going to forward that thing off. Yeah. Let's take the battery off. Yeah, nice. I'm going to actually be taking this NVMe SSD off, because I'm going to be selling this, so there's no point of keeping it. So I'm going to putting this, it's an ADATA swordfish. It looks like a fish. It's a good SSD, pretty fast. I'm going to put the screw back in, so it's not going to be lost. It's a little bit difficult. Anyways, yes, because of the angle that I'm doing it in. So always make sure you disconnect the battery before touching anything. Putting back the battery in its place. Nicely done. So if you wanted, you could detach those ribbon cables in there too. You got your NVMe, you got your Wi-Fi card under it, Wi-Fi 6. So pretty decent, and you don't need to open this thing because it's got the metal cooled. So it's got the liquid metal under it, so there's no thermal paste, so there's no need of changing it at all. That's why it's giving you a better perhaps performance, you know. So that's what's in there. 3 NVMe SSDs, 2 RAM slots, a battery you can upgrade, the fans you can change if they fail, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else that you can pretty much do in here. The speakers on this device, by the way, are not that good, but they are functional. They do their job decently, but they could have been better. So anyways, let's skip this thing. A very cool thing about this laptop is that it's got a very nice hinge. You can open it with one hand, just like that. You can also close it with one hand without any hesitation. The hinge mechanism is very good. Now let's start with the things that I like and I dislike about this computer. The build quality is good. This is a beautiful brushed aluminum plastic mix kind of a material. This back panel here tends to get scratched easily, despite the fact it's very beautiful, it's very stylish. The fans are a little bit loud. I wish they were less loud than what they are, but that's the same thing with HP Omens and also the Lenovos and other manufacturers, or the tough gaming stuff. The keyboard is decent. I like the keyboard. The Wi-Fi is good, and you do need to add another NVMe SSD if you're planning to play more games on it. It could be a business laptop if you have the RGB off. I mean, if you have it off, it could be used as a business laptop. You could take it to your business meetings, no problem. Doesn't have a camera. That is one thing I may not like about this thing. It doesn't have a camera. It's got very nice slim bezels. And another cons would be not having a camera, like I said. The screen is beautiful, it's IPS, it's fast, but it's not a real 144 Hz. It could have been better. It's not as fast as they promise it to be, but for a casual gamer, it does the job. It's beautiful, it's good, you know. And The screen is also not as bright as I thought. There's a lot of light in this room, in this place, because I'm shooting. I need better lighting. So the screen is not that bright, but it's bright enough. It's about 300 nits, I would say. 300 nits, something like. I wish it was 400 nits at least. I tend to like brighter screens, but that's more like a personal thing. It's a matte screen. It's beautiful. It's good. You can use it in office environment, or you can use it even outside, and it's not gonna have reflection coming back at you. So you can see two light kits right here. There's nothing going on. So there's not much that I don't like about this thing. It runs cool. It's got good software in there. Not much of bloatware when you buy it, and it does what it's supposed to do at a bit of a higher price. I wish they would have put a 1616 Ti in there at a $1,000 price range, but they didn't, unfortunately. So would I recommend this computer? Yes. If you like the RGB, if you're into that, it's gonna be a great computer for you, and you're gonna enjoy using this thing. But I've heard about their screen issue. They're better screens with the RTX 2060 models or above that. This model is the base model. Probably try to cheap it out, but it's still an IPS panel. It's still good viewing angles, good color. So that's pretty much it, you know. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this review, give me a thumbs up.